Yeah, we starting over. Why are they trying to block it? They don't want me to talk about it? Well, no, you got me fucked up. They just thought that I wasn't gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it. Yeah, no, no, no. Cause see, I'm glad you did it. Cause now when I tell them that YouTube have workers that are in on this, I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. I told y'all before they put properties in my name in motherfucking Texas. I can prove that as well. They have been renting properties under my name. I guess that didn't age well for them. We back. Tag Chipotle. Everybody tag Chipotle. Tag Chipotle, everybody. Tag their asses. Good. Why? Because Chipotle don't franchise. That means that they sold this Chipotle up under Chipotle's nose because Chipotle don't franchise. I hired a group of PIs. What's her name? Truman. And I said, I think Truman is going to expose the Truman Show to me. I paid them $7,500 that I did not have, 5,000 of my money, and then I borrowed 2,500 from Lisa. I paid them $75,000 for them to send me a booklet. Let me go get the booklet. Now, I had them I had them investigate myself. I asked them to investigate myself to see who's attached to me. I'm going to show you proof of everything I'm telling you because I have not been getting mail. They stopped my mail for months. I moved here in January. I had not received any mail to this address, none of my cutoff mail from Las Vegas. I started sending, you know how you can go in and put a change of address? I put change of address for everything that they had my name on. Okay. So then everything I'm telling you today, I can motherfucking prove it. I told her I'm still not getting mail. And she asked what the address was. I gave her the address. Wait a minute. What is it? What you say? I have not been getting mail. This is what she tells me about not getting my mail, right? I'll look into that too in my database and we can get it fixed if it's still not working. Okay, gratitude. Now, let me put my phone on do not disturb. My phone going crazy right now. I tell her, whenever you want, and again, I'm still not receiving mail. This isn't good news to me. Just let me know. Okay. She said, okay, look at my schedule and get back to you tomorrow. Which address is supposed to be receiving mail? I gave her the address, and then she said, I'll look into my database. My thought and Cena's thought was, what database does she have when this is a federal database? Now, I told you that I filed. Y'all did it. Y'all wanted to play. We're going to play. I filed. Hold on. I filed. Let me look through my papers. I did file for let me tell y'all how they played me, bro. I sent them everything. Here it is. I told you I filed for a federal investigation about me not receiving mail, that my mail had been tampered with, that they were moving my mail around. I told you I filed for a federal investigation through the post office, right? That's what she's saying. She's saying she can go into the database and fix it. However, this was my email return, a hotline complaint, the Postal Service investigators. It is a federal investigation. Thank you for contacting the U.S. Postal Service of an Inspector General. By conducting audits, evaluations, and investigations, the OIG fulfills its mission of ensuring efficiency, accountability, and integrity in the U.S. Postal Service. Your submission has been received and it is being reviewed by the OIG. Unless you are contacted directly by an OIG investigator or other representatives, you will not receive further communication on this matter from our office. However, your concern may be under review or investigation even if you are not contacted. I have never been contacted to even let me know what the hell is going on. Ever. Ever. The man at the post office took me in the back. He said, I'm not supposed to be doing this, but why no communication? Exactly. I don't get it. He said, you have so many change of address forms. Some are showing that it's been deleted. Some are going through, but you're saying you still haven't received mail. I still have not received mail, postmaster. Now, I get back from my trip the other day. I had one forwarded from Las Vegas mail. They're playing in my face, bro. Because I had not received no mail. Only people asking me to give me a loan. How would they even have this address to send papers to give me a loan? That's all I received until I got back the other day and I had one piece of mail forwarded. I've not gotten a disconnection notice, nothing. However, Audria had a bag full of mail that she claims is not mine, although, okay, it's not mine, but she showed it to Lisa. I'm just trying to figure out some shit. Why am I saying about Audria? Well, we called Audria, and let me show you. This is the booklet from the investigators. Here, this is the booklet from the investigators. This is different from my booklet. This says return back to client. This is different from my research, right? This is from the investigators. Client reports. They played in my face. Do you know what they told me? They told me that, oh, she said, I had CoStar remove your name. I hope that's okay. Why would you have them remove my name? Why would you do that? So you don't get any phone calls anymore. Why would you do that? So What are you saying? What happened was I figured out how your name got on there. They scrubbed the system and everybody uses that same address for a virtual address and phone number. No, we pay for ours. That would be like saying where you live at in a big building, 2001 Various Boulevard, but your unit is 1301. That's like saying, oh, everybody uses 2001 Various Boulevard. So, no, I pay for Suite 200, though. Everybody does not use my corporate phone number because I pay for that. She said they scrubbed the system and accidentally attached my name to the Chipotle when they scrubbed the system. The AI bots accidentally attached my name to the fucking Chipotle on an accident because they scrubbed the system. And because my name was attached, I had to call her back and tell her, hey, I just thought about it, ma'am. My name was never on the fucking Chipotle. I mean, on my business. Hi, Truman. I just wanted to say gratitude. Sometimes it makes me feel like I'm just so crazy, but what I did not even think to tell you is, and it definitely is documented, but reason why it also doesn't make sense is because the address and all of that, all of the scrubbing of the system, I get it, but it was never under my name. It was under Audria's name. So that. So why? That's what I mean. Why when Audria created the virtual? Why? Because Audria created the virtual address. Let's call Lisa. I can prove everything the fuck I'm telling you. Hey, beautiful. Hey. Yeah. I just want you to say, tell them, was my name ever on the virtual address? No. Right. Because she just put your name first. Correct. And then she put my name secondary because my name was never on it. Never on it. Not even the phone number. Not even the phone number. Your name wasn't the phone number. No. All that was in her name. And then, was it a month ago? Maybe a little bit more. May 14th. Okay. Then that's when I got put on as primary and you as secondary. Correct. Yep. Gratitude. And that we've had that for 2 years, maybe? Mm-hmm. She says 3. She said 3 years. Okay, 3. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. Yes. Gratitude. Okay. All right. Okay. And all of the mail, right, from the virtual address will go to her mother's house. Now, I called Audria and we recorded that call too because I didn't trust her. Let's see if I can find it maybe. I'm just done playing with everybody, bro. Make sure y'all tag Chipotle, bro. They used the real estate agent from Cincinnati. Nobody was used here in Nashville. Nobody was used here in Nashville. They had the deed printed up by a chick named Amy Brown McNally from Washington, D.C. The person on Indeed, LinkedIn, who said they brought me to the table is from Colorado. The other 3 guys, the one attorney, and then the 2 guys that I just gave to you, Miles and Kiveb, or whatever his name is, Kivayan, they are from California, Los Angeles. The person who claims he sold it, his name is Steve Wallace. He is the fire chief in San Gabriel, California. He's the fire chief. His shit is under, his LLC is under Bingo, right? He claims that he sold the property. He claims he owned it and he sold it to Quatita. They're all from California. The title company, which I have the proof here now. Now they just do the insurance title, is what it is, right? That's right here. They're from Memphis, Tennessee. They didn't use anybody here because in order to press charges, it has to be pressed here in Nashville, but no crime was committed here in Nashville. They just bought the property here in Nashville. I'm not the first person they did it to. They just thought I was dead. And when they realized I wasn't dead, that's why they've been trying to kill me. I asked the investigator, see, I've tried to hire multiple investigators. Nobody would touch this. Nobody would touch it. So finally, we went to this attorney. The attorney said he could go to the ex-director of the FBI, who is his buddy, or he can use these two young ones that he uses. They're good. Now, when I first met with them, they claimed they were federal investigators. And they said they are federal investigators and they also investigate the feds who are not doing correctly. That's what they love to do. When we met with them, me and Carbon met with the attorney first. I met with the investigators by myself secondly, which I should have recorded that, but I didn't. I recorded when we met with them recently, when we got, this booklet. I record everything. That she's not writing this off of pure imagination. She's writing it because she's Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Hold on. I think I'm almost to it. I'm going to have to go to it a different way. Wait a minute. I may have to have him send it to me a different way. It is a recording of us talking to Adria, and I asked her, I said, didn't you tell us that your aunt was a senator? And she said no. Now, let me give you some backstory. I wanted to ask her because I wanted to understand something that was told. And so I made up something. I said, wasn't your aunt a senator? And she said, no, I don't know. She said, maybe that was Aubrey. I said, oh, maybe it was. I said, hey, um, one of our clients said that they sent us a package, like a thank you package. And she said she sent it to the virtual address. Where would that go? Let me text him and tell him to send me this recording. So, and she said, I said, where would that mail go? It won't go anywhere, Q. It's not a real address. I said, what you mean? So she said, it should just be returned. I said, return to them? I said, so she said, remember I set it up. It's always a deflection. Remember I set this up like 3 years ago, Q. Remember when I set up the Google emails? Yeah. I said, so the mail will go to Google? No, no, Q. It'll just be returned. I've never been there before. It's not like a real place. It's not a real address. I said, well, where would it go? It would just go back to the person then. Yeah, because when I set it up, now it changes. It was just it was a row of suites. It was just a row of suites. So there's not really an address, really. But I drove all the way to Knoxville to the virtual address. And it's not a row of suites. It is an attorney's office where they process the mail. Then they send the mail to Idaho Falls. I called Idaho Falls while sitting at the attorney's office. And they told me the mail goes to the physical address that's listed, which was Audria's mom's house. Why is this important? Well, first, let me read you what's in this book. This is it. Okay, let me read it to you. Yes, because $1,500 that was in the TikTok never made it to me. Lisa can come on and attest to that. Lisa called me. They called me on three-way and said, hey, do you know you have $1,500 in your TikTok? Where is it going? Unbeknownst to me, she had been in the TikTok all day trying to figure out how to attach a PayPal or a different account to it. Mind you, she had paid her rent out of my motherfucking bank account that she didn't think that I would pay attention to. So then when I called her out, I said, who the fuck has paid their rent out of my bank account? She had no idea. Lisa was like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know. I called. As I'm on the phone with my bank, she's beeping in. It's me. It's me. It was an accident. I didn't mean to. Or you didn't think that I would catch it because you think I'm stupid. You think I pay attention to nothing. That's the conversation you and Aubrey had about me, right? Because y'all thought I was stupid and I don't pay attention to shit, right? Because when Aubrey moved out of here, Cena can tell you, there were many, many commercial realtors calling looking for Aubrey. Why would I said, what are you talking about? Why would commercial realtors be calling for Aubrey? Aubrey don't have no money to buy no commercial realty. Y'all got with these people who was paying y'all, what they pay y'all, what they offer y'all. What they offer y'all to do it. I'm just trying to figure it the fuck out. This is what it says. Per investigative database, I'm going to skip some of this. More interestingly, Her old manager, Andrea Bell, has 2 charges for check deception in 2002. Although this was over 20 years ago, it should be not taken lightly as she has a history of financial deception. Ms. Dean should be careful about involving Ms. Bell in any business or financial dealings. While this is concerning, there has been no evidence of Ms. Bell or anyone else stealing her identity, credit, or putting any properties in her name, which we know is a lie. Why? Because there's a property in my fucking name. When I met with them the first time, her husband said, didn't David also say there was a Panera in her name as well? She said, no, absolutely not. That's not what he said. That's not what he said. He said, oh, why would he just say that and make that up? Everybody is being hired to play in my motherfucking face, bro. So look, real quick, you know I had did the Cross Watchers and the World Reading. Collins kept being brought up, right? The name Collins. So then Jose was looking at this senator lady named Susan. We Collins, just made up some shit. She created all of these bills, and one of them is a modern slavery something bill, and I'm like, somebody would know if these bills, because there's so many of them that she's just passed. And I'm like, one person probably would know if these are bills. You say you have an honor somebody that's a senator? No. Oh shit. Maybe it was already there. Not me. Well, that's how she got all of these fucking ass bills. And I'm like, these all can't be real, but maybe they are. I do not know. Her last name Collins? Yeah. I'll look into it. Yeah, I'll look into it. The other thing is, one of my clients said she had, she tried to, I don't know why, she tried to mail something to the virtual address. And I'm like, well, how do we even check that? Because I told her it's virtual. So I don't even know what that means. Like, so when I first set it up, that it was like basically like we can only get like that Tennessee registration mail that is registered through, but it was just that address so that we can be linked to Google so that it can be publicized with the phone number and the address. So that was it. No mail actually goes there, so that she'll probably get it back. Did she have a tracking on it? I don't even know. If she has a tracking on it, because she can follow it and or she can have it intercepted and it can come back to her. So wait, it's attached to Google? Yeah. So when I mean attached to Google, like, so basically, once we had the emails that ended in awwta.com, when we like at awwta.com, that's when I set up the whole Tennessee registration thing to get the virtual address. So once I got that, then I was able to link it to like Google, because it actually like, do you own this business? I said no, but I said I was an employee. So then that's how then Google was then starting to post the address and then also the business phone number. So then it took anything like associated with you personally, it took that away. So then if somebody sent something, would it I don't know, would it come to the Google? I'm being dumb. No, it would go back to that person. Oh, so then why do we have it? Can't anybody send nothing to? Yeah. And I did it 3 years ago. And no one has ever tried to send anything there. So, like this is the first time it came up. So I'll look into it. She'll always look into it. Just in February, we just renewed it for another year. So we got pause. She renews it. Do you know why she renews it? Because it's in her name. Because it's in her name. It's never in Quatita's name. So even though it says how it's the 116 Agnes Road, So our box is $200, which I pay for. Yes. So then, where would they? I mean, like, because if you Google it, it gives you if you Google it, it gives you like a unit. It just shows you like this. It's almost like a strip mall, kind of like, to where you have to you would have to go in and then like each person has like their own suite. Yes. Yeah. Right. I've never, even when I came to Tennessee, I didn't even think about visiting it, to double check it out. Oh. But yeah. So it is an actual suite. So is it possible whatever she sent will go there? Yeah, it will go there, but I'm thinking that because we were never there, it will just be sent back to her because there's nobody there to receive it. Okay. No one's there, we've never been there to receive it. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reach out to the girl who helped me set it up. Because she has pay attention. Two virtual addresses here for Wayne for her nonprofit. So she was the one who helped me set it all up. And I told her how we went in Tennessee and things of that nature. Is she through the Tennessee registry thing? No, she's the one I went to when I was trying to set up the business credit and I was trying to learn about that. Did the virtual address. She was the one who started me with the virtual address, but then she also linked me up to a girl that they took this master class. I didn't want to pay for the master class, so she hooked me up with another girl who helped me out with starting with the business credit and trying to figure those things out. Who is it? Who is these girls? So her name is Deidre Williams. She lives here in Fort Wayne. I can't remember the other girl because it was through my old Instagram account that got taken away. I had all of the messages between me and her, and as I had questions, she was helping me out with everything. And then they took away the Instagram, but by the time I was handling the other Instagrams, so by the time I logged back in, I think it was either you or Aubrey was like, "You don't have Instagram no more?" And I was like, "Yeah." Right. I remember that. And it was gone, and I had waited too late to reactivate it. So I lost that on that account. I remember that. I don't have her information no more. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll see. I can't even remember her name, but she probably reached back out to me about it, and then I'll let her know. Yeah, and then I'll see what I'll come up with, and then I'll get back with you. Okay. All right. Like I said, I had drove out to Knoxville, and I know that it's a lawyer's office and that it's attached to Audrey's mom's address. So I even called her out on that later. I do have that recorded as well. Everybody's been hired to play in my motherfucking face. They just thought that I would just go for this shit. I'm trying to figure out, are you trying to send me to the penitentiary for what? Tax fraud, tax evasion? What is the goal here? What's the goal? How did I pay for this property? So I even went to the tax assessors because I'm just trying to figure shit out because I'm confused. I went there. Like I said, Alan Fruitman is from 1031tax.com. He's the one from Colorado. They were on LinkedIn bragging about how they brought me to the table and how they got this deal done. Like I said, there's proof here of Amy Alley Brown and McNally Brown. She's the one who did this. They sent it to this address up here. And it says all of this. Maybe I can't show it because maybe that's why they blocked it off the first one. But I have proof of it. I got proof. I'm just trying to figure out why did they want me to believe that. So I went to the tax assessor's office. I've been to the Tennessee Secretary of State office. And here is that. I printed that out. This is about the LLC because I wanted to know who's on the LLC. Well, they told me, and it gets more interesting. Okay, so let me pause. Remember, I kept saying that old girl was the FBI agent. She claimed that she is not. She claimed that she is a client and a friend of mine. Now, I keep telling y'all that my phone is tapped. They're listening to conversations. When I first met with Truman and her husband, the investigators, I said that to them. They said, "Oh, it is extremely hard for anyone to tap your phone. That's not even possible." They have other things where they sit close to you or listening device. They sit around you so they can hear what you're saying. Well, I'm for sure knowing that she's in Texas. She's nowhere around me. So a few months ago, I'm sitting in the parking lot of the beauty supply and I'm on the phone with Pam. Pam is Lisa's sister. And Pam says we had a hour-long conversation. At the end of the conversation, I'm revealing everything. I'm going to tell everything. I don't give a fuck. So Pam says, by the way, I wanted to ask, but I didn't want to go into it. What happened with Charming? I know she's no longer around. What's going on with that? What happened? I said, oh, I go into what happened. I said, I just don't talk about it on the live. It was some crazy ass shit. Really didn't have nothing to do with me, but I was dragged into it. I didn't like what happened, whatever, whatever. I just decided to disconnect. I had previously called this girl, Netta, the Fed, right? And she didn't answer. She said, I'll call back. After I talked to Pam, she calls me back. We're talking. She said, oh, yeah, by the way, whatever happened with Charming? I've been meaning to ask you that. I froze, but I didn't hesitate. I said, oh, well, yeah, that was some crazy shit. I'll go ahead and tell you what happened. I'm not talking about it on the live. The exact same conversation. She's done it a few times. So March 18th, when we get this call about this building, this Chipotle, this active in a good neighborhood, I call her and I say, hey, I was just told that they purchased a property, a commercial property, a Chipotle in my name. And she says, well, they could have done it by using an EIN number, an LLC. They have various ways to do it. She sent me information. I never talked to her again after that until I call her one day and I'm like, I've done all of this research at this point. And I say, hey, I'm about to call you. I want to ask you a question or whatever. So I call her and she's sitting out on the balcony. And she said, right, because I asked her a specific question. And then she said, because I remember you had said that it was what, 6 people on that LLC that they created. And I paused. Now I'm sitting in a Hooters at the time, me and Cena. And I said, yeah. I said, hold on, let me call you back because it's real loud in here. Right? Because I was the fuck confused. Now, mind you, I have been talking to her off and on, and I've been recording those conversations as well, right? Now, I misspelled fam, but I was typing fast because I was pissed. What it says is, wow, let me tell you what. I never told you about the LLC because I haven't spoken to you since I found out about the LLC. Y'all hear everything. She said, huh? I didn't respond because I know and she knows that I never told her about the LLC. You know how I know? Because March 18th, I text her and I said, hey, you got a minute? And that's when I called her. And when I told her, like I said, yep, she said, yep, I called her. And then after, she sends me information about EINs. Right? So I never talked to her again since then. I called her the next day because I thought I understood something. She didn't answer. So I said, never mind, when I realized I never understood it. Right? So I had not talked to her until March 27th. Give me a couple minutes. Can you talk? That's when I called her sitting at the Hooters. And she said, right, because you said that it was what, 6 people on that LLC? No, I didn't say that to you because I never talked to you. That's when I texted her and said, wow, y'all hear everything. I am not lying to you. I am not crazy. My motherfucking phone is tapped and I'm trying to figure out feds. If you understand all of this, why haven't you gotten these people yet? You're letting these people ruin my life. That's how the federal fucking bureau work. Y'all just sit back forever building a RICO case. And then when a motherfucker want to know about it, y'all just ruining the bitch life. Y'all letting people ruin their fucking lives. That's what y'all do. That's how it works. I keep proof. I keep proof. The lawyer said, you've done all this investigation in a week and a half? I said, and did. He said, did you go to law school? I started, but I didn't finish. So you don't have a degree? No, I don't. I know because you want to hire me. I understand it. This is what it says. Managed of the entity is designated as manager managed. The LLC is manager managed. I'll go to the Tennessee secretary and they're looking at me because I'm just trying to get information. I'm trying to understand. We went to the title division. You know what the title division told me? The tax assessors where they give you the deed and shit. I've been there 3 times. First, I'm just trying to get information because I don't want to really talk about what's going on. Finally, I go downstairs where you pay the taxes at. And I say, listen, let me tell you something. I'm just trying to figure it out because they gave me information already. I already had information who paid the taxes, when the taxes are due, how much it is. I know all of it. I have it all. So finally, I went back again. I say, listen, this is what's going on. You know what the tax assessor told me? She said, sell it because it's yours. It belongs to you. Sell it. I go to the Tennessee, the Secretary of Tennessee, where they do the LLCs at. They told me that a third party, which is the Tennessee Registry, which she signed up with to do the virtual address, is also who they went to create. Now, the Chipotle was purchased November 25th, 2025, November 2025, 2025. That's when it was purchased. Now, it was filed. This was filed. The business was filed November 4th, 2025. Okay. November 4th, 2025 is when this LLC was created, right? And the day that I went there to the secretary building, they had just did the next annual report. They had just redid it again. April 1st, 2026. And that was the day that I went there. And it surely fucking was. They had just redid it. right? So I'm like, so how can I find out who's on this LLC? She said it says it's about 6 people on here. But we can't tell you all of the members that are on here because we have to hold it private. Plus, we don't know because they used a third party. They used Tennessee Registry Agency, which I called them. They act like they had been talking to a ghost. They told me the manager would call me back. His name was like Bradley or some shit. He would call me back. I never talked to them again. They never called me back. I didn't call them back because for what? You getting ready to play in my face. So they said that it's private, and that's the one thing about setting up an LLC in Tennessee. They don't have to divulge who they are inside of the LLC. So I'm just recorded as the true buyer. Here's the paper that says because when I went to the deed place again, and I told her, I said, listen, I've been here a couple times. Let me tell you why I keep asking about this property. She said, let me see who they got the mortgage through. That means they would have had to got a mortgage to pay that 2.1 and that 2.8 and that 4.1 million. They would have had to got a mortgage to pay it. Let me see who they went through for the mortgage. Well, there was no mortgage. What she told me was the only thing that's listed is Fidelity National Title Group in Memphis, Tennessee. That's this. That's Teresa and Pamela. That's Teresa and Pamela. So I called Pamela. I was at Red Lobster when I called Pamela. First, I called the black girl from the company. There's a black girl that worked there, and I said, "Hey, do you have a ID or license on file of when I came in and did the paperwork?" She said, "It depends on how long it's been, but I will see." She said, "Do you have an email?" I said, "Yeah." I gave her the email. She said, "I'll send you over what I have." Well, she didn't have an ID, but what she did have was this. This is all of the paperwork, insurance, and all of this of the policy, the LLC, and all of these different things here. Right? So she sent it to me, no questions asked. So I called back because now I want to talk to Pamela because Pamela is the notary. Pamela would have had to seen an ID or some sort of document when she put her signature down on this piece of paper as a notary. Is anybody got a question about that? You know why I know that? Because I'm a notary in the state of Tennessee as well as a motherfucking signing agent. So I know, I just don't have my equipment. All of my equipment is in storage. So Pamela, she notarized this. That means she would have had to see some type of document or ID. So I called Pamela. I said, "Hey, my name is my name is Sarah or something." I told her. I said, "I'm trying to see about using you as a notary. I'm in Nashville." She said, "We have a sister company in Nashville. I don't do any work in Nashville." She said, "How did you find me?" I said, "Well, I have a person that used you and your company. Well, you would have had to use a title." I said, "Exactly. They did. They used a title company, but you were the notary. So I'm just trying to figure out for my business, could you do the same for me?" She said, "I don't do any work in Nashville. None. I've never done any work in Nashville." Funny, Pamela, because your name is here on this document, Pamela. This is you, Pamela. This is you, Pamela. You are out of Memphis, Tennessee. You are the commercial manager. You're out of Memphis. So why would you have notarized for a company, a business here in Nashville if you don't do any work here in Nashville, Pamela Cox? That's funny. Just like why would they use Charles Fisher? Charles Fisher, that's Charles Fisher right there. He's out of Los Angeles, California. Who is he? Well, he's the one who notarized it in California. See, that's you, Charles. You notarized this in California. And then y'all had the deed printed up in Washington, D.C. by Amy McNally Brown, which I've done research and she's very hard to find. So I called and the black lady said, no, she's here. She's here in the office. I have her. I said, that's funny because when I go on to your website, she's nowhere on the website. Well, she's here. I have her listed. Well, why is she on the website? I also have that recorded too. I record all of the calls. I have them all recorded. It's interesting to me. So now they're telling me that the AI bot scrubbed the system and accidentally put my name on there because my name was attached to a company address that it was never attached to. Give me a second. Now, when I first met with the investigators, I think that's this, and that's not what I'm looking for. I don't think. I'm gonna go to the next one. When I first met with the investigators, they asked me who I wanted to look into besides myself. Although I had told them about what happened at the when I was stopped coming back into the country with Lisa, and I was asked about Shabazz. They never asked me her name. They never asked me anything. And I told my team, I said, I think it's weird that they asked me for Audria's name. They said, what is your manager's name? I gave them her name and a couple other people's names that I wanted them to look into. Well, the thing is, when they asked me, they never asked me her name. But then when they came back, they have her listed in this book, but they never asked me her name. I just told them I was stopped coming in the country, and I was asked about my ex. They never asked me about her. They never asked me her name, but then they have her name and they have her listed in here. Oh, maybe this is. I have not heard. Hold on, give me a minute. I'm looking for it. Today is May 20th. Some of these are because I document everything. There's a particular recording that I'm looking for. Here it is.
So,
Hello?
hi Stu, how are you?
Good.
Hi.
This
Okay,
is
so
Adria
I
and
understand
Lisa.
what you're saying about after I took my mom's address off, there's 7 nines.
Now, y'all get to hear the bullshit. Why is her mom's address on it? Why is she trying to help and take her mom's address off? I can call Lisa right now. Lisa had already re-registered because she had already put Lisa's shit on it. Like Lisa had already taken over the motherfucking phone calls and everything. So Lisa had already been aware. Audrey had called me before Sam Wolf called me on the 18th of March. She kept calling like, can I please just answer the phone when I can? And I said, no, let Lisa do it. Well, I just want to tap in when I can. Why do you want to answer this phone so badly? Because she was intercepting calls that had something to do with this business and LLC.
And it's Bloomington, Indiana, 46807.
So she's trying to convince me that when she took her mom's address off, she put 9999999 Bloomington, Indiana. And it accepted it into the system. Without a street address, none of that.
That's the fake address that I ended up putting on there when I took my mom's address off. So,
because her name is on the company, that's why.
I apologize that I was misunderstanding at the time, but I was also in a meeting. So, again, my apologies.
You said 7 nines, like 999999999.
Yes. Bloomington, Indiana, 46807.
Boom, like BOO or BLOO?
Bloomington, BLOOMINGTON, Indiana.
Okay.
Here, while we're on the phone, I'll just text it so you'll have it.
Okay.
That way you can see it. Hold on.
think I'm stupid. I'm not.
Oh, wait, Lisa, I'm sending it to you too. Okay. Sorry, hold on me. Get there. Okay, you both should have it. Yeah. You got it? So there's no street, it's just Blooming? No. Okay.
No.
There's no street listed to it. Okay. On the account itself, it's just you and Q that's listed. Your number, Lisa, is the primary and hers is the alternate.
You know why? Because I was never on the fucking shit at all. We're talking about the virtual address and the virtual phone number. I was never on it.
Yeah, phone numbers. And then for right now, you were made the primary. Mm-hmm. So I thought that would be okay.
Because who was the primary? She was.
The primary, so, but she was on there as an alternate.
See what I'm saying? Because I was never the fuck on there.
Okay, now.
So how did the AI bot attach my name accidentally because it scrubbed the system when I was never on there at all for it to ever have found my name in the system at all?
I haven't been able to read your last message, Key. Sorry, I apologize because I was just getting out of a meeting.
Sure you were.
Well, two actually. Can you tell me the gist of it, or should I just read it first and then?
Either way, it's fine with me. The gist of what I said was, when we asked you, there was a reason why I asked you about the virtual address in Knoxville. The call was recorded. Like I said, there's been an investigation going on for the past 2.5, 3 months.
It was. Here's the
And
book.
You specifically told me that the virtual address is not really a real address, that the package will be returned because it doesn't really go anywhere. And then you said there was a row of suites when you first set it up. You saw on the whatever, it was a row of suites. But I drove out to Knoxville, and it's an attorney's office, and they process the mail, and they send the mail to Port Falls, Idaho, in which gets to your mother's house.
So my mom, at that address, we haven't received anything since I set this up in 2023.
Nothing for the LLC that you all have set up?
I don't have an LLC set
Well,
up.
I don't know how that would ever get past you.
That's what I'm saying. I don't have an LLC.
There's an LLC set up that was set up by what it says is by the manager that is attached to this phone number, the corporate phone number, and to the corporate address. And I don't know how that would ever gotten past you.
In 2017, prior to me moving
Here
to
she goes
Florida,
with the
I had
bullshit.
an LLC, Bel Air Entertainment. That was for my kids' dance group that they were a part of here in Fort Wayne for the community. I had one in 2017. I also dissolved it in 2019 while I was in Florida because I had to pay taxes on it. That is now that part is true. But as far as me having an
Lisa's
outside
not
entity,
involved.
I can pull my credit report first on my information alone and show you that there's nothing attached to my name. Now,
I'm sure it isn't, because it's under a whole bunch of falsified bullshit. And I've been knowing about this since March.
What I'm telling you, and I am telling you the God honest truth.
No, you're not.
This is on my life and my kids' life, so whoever may strike us down. I have nothing extra set up in my name, nor your name, no any false information. After the whole, the Cash App thing came off of my, that was the only thing as far as like the business part, when the money was coming in and that Cash App was taken away by Cash App. I told y'all immediately what happened with that. Prior to that, I had to set up for your Google, for your website address, right? For that website address, and I can probably FaceTime y'all on my personal computer, to where I end up linking my email address, which was the manager.ab.
Because I was never on it.
To
She
that
was.
email address so that when people made reviews, remember we were going around saying, hey, you got your books, put in a review. It was automatically linked to the website. That I did do. That is still linked to that email address because I don't have access to it anymore because I stopped paying on it. That's the truth. I haven't, let me say this. I haven't done anything illegal. I've never tried to cross you in any type of way. I have tried to do.
Are you aware that after Aubrey left here, there were several commercial realtors calling here for her, and we couldn't figure it out because Aubrey has no money to even speak to a commercial realtor. And when I'm talking about the LLC, see, I don't understand. You take impeccable notes, Adria, so I don't understand how anything could ever get past you because there's.
This is her notebook. She didn't know that Cena had it. She has notes in here saying how she was going to get a BBL and shit that she can't afford. Who was going to pay for that? When I say impeccable notes, impeccable notes, impeccable notes. Everything is notated. Everything is notated. She takes impeccable notes, baby. All the time. Impeccable notes.
Adria, there is a LLC attached to my virtual phone number and virtual address that have been buying properties, Adria, in my fucking name.
What is the LLC?
Because how would it ever get past you when all of the mail goes to your mother's house?
That's what I'm trying to say. Once a year, we got mail as a reminder. It was once a year, which
now it's once a year we get mail as a reminder. You heard yourself that she says no mail has ever come to there, right? Ain't that what she said? You heard the recording. She said no mail has ever come there. She thought it got returned, all of it.
You told me that the address was a virtual address. It didn't go anywhere, is what you told me.
That's not, you asked me maybe 6 or 7 months ago.
6 or 7 months ago.
I'm trying to track down a packet.
She said this was 6 or 7 months ago. It was not. It was not.
I said, I've never got anything for that.
I just said this to you like maybe 3-4 weeks ago.
No.
It's recorded. We recorded you because we've been. I hired federal investigators, Adria.
And what I'm telling you is this.
Adria, the LLC completely says managed by manager, Adria, and it's attached to my virtual address and phone number, Adria. Everybody's going to the federal penitentiary.
Thank you. And so may that be, but I haven't done anything wrong. I keep trying.
How could this? You saying 6 or 7 months ago? I just called you. No, that's never happened. That's never happened. We were told to say this to you just recently. I've never said it to you before.
So what I said to her was, we were told to say this to you. At this point, I had only been looking for an investigator. Nobody would take it, right? So I'm telling her that the investigators told me to call her and say that. That didn't happen. Me and Cena cooked up this plan to call her and say this so we can see what she would say. I hadn't hired the investigators at this point. The investigators were hired, I think, towards the end of April.
To you recently because I was told to say it to you and it was recorded.
It was recorded.
That's fine. It's recorded because I have no reason.
Why do you keep lying, Adria?
I'm not.
You are. I never said this to you 6 or 7 months ago because it was never a thing.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't. It's never happened. It's never happened. It just was said to you just recently.
Me and you talked 2 weeks ago on May 14th. We talked, right, about the whole phone account. We talked. I explained everything to you because I was leaving out of a meeting, a training I think I was in then. You said, okay, that's fine. Go ahead, call Lisa, tell Lisa. Lisa was in her car when I called her. I ended up telling Lisa after we talked, I said, hey, I'm going to text you everything, but if you have issues.
And you never told her about the address. You didn't. You never told her about the address.
If I never told Lisa about the address, I don't know how I did it, but I apologize because I know it came up in our conversation.
That was the whole purpose of the conversation.
So I apologize because then therefore I take accountability, Partita and Lisa, for anything that I've done wrong. But this is what I'm saying. A few months ago, not recently, not on. Just let me finish my sentence, please.
Go ahead.
Okay. We spoke on May 14th. Prior to that, we had a conversation. I believe it was one in February after everything. You said you wanted to dissolve everything. We talked again, I believe probably in April of this year. Before then, right? Because you said that you had received a package. A girl sent you a package in the mail. Is what you said.
That was in April. I sent that to you.
And I said, receive anything. There's never been no package at our house. I said, but what we can do is that you can go online. Matter of fact, Lisa, if you're by a computer, you can log into the account now and see exactly what it might have been, because what they will do is scan it. No, I've never been to the place of business in Knoxville because I've only been in Nashville one time when we went to go see Marshall. I've never been to the place. When you Google that virtual address, you can Google it right now. It shows a list of suites. That's all that I knew. Because again, this was 3 years ago when I set it up. I had never visited it. All I did was take a class from a girl online, which I told y'all about that thing, because everything, you are absolutely right, you. There's no way that things should have been able to come past me with as involved as I've been with. But I can reassure you on my life, and Yehuda, Papa, Mama can take my soul right now. I've never once crossed you. I've never once tried to set things up outside of your name.
You're telling me right now, let me tell you this. You're telling me right now that we had a conversation I know for a fact we never had 6-7 months ago. Because this was something that this was all brought up in April out of a plan. Because I wanted to know exactly what would be said, because I was told, again, this has been investigated for a while now. And Andrea, that conversation between you and I was recorded. Before then, that conversation never happened. I said to you, Andrea, there's a client who says that she sent the package. Where would the package go? You said that's a virtual address. It's not real. It would be returned. In that point, why didn't you say, oh, it'll probably just go to my mother's house?
Because we've never, in those 3 years that we've had this account, nothing has ever been sent to us. So my immediate response, and I will still stand on that, is that it would just be returned. Because it was a virtual address. Even if I Google it right now, you're going to see a row of suites. I've never been there in person.
So where's the mail that would have been attached? How did it get attached? How did my virtual phone number and address get attached to an LLC that's buying up properties in my fucking name, that's going to your mother's house and you not know about it?
There is no properties that I have, nor that I can afford. Not with me, not with Aubrey. The first time.
Who are the bitches that you said that you had helping you set up accounts and all of this? But see, this is why I record shit.
In this book, this is her book. She left this when we went to where did we go? It was in November. And her son, she claimed her son was acting up and she couldn't stay. So she had to leave. She accidentally left this behind. When we went through this, we saw that she had my social security number written down several times saying, make sure you send this over to this person. Make sure you send this over to that person. I even asked her, who the fuck was you sending my social security number to? She never answers it. The shit that's detailed in this book is crazy. She just didn't know. I thought that she knew she left it. My team told me later, she didn't know she left that. We just kept it. You'll see that she didn't know she left it either. You about to see it.
Because you told me you can't remember this girl's name because you connected through Instagram, in which I know you take impeccable notes. You know why I know that? Because the notebook that you gave that we have had dissected, you have had my social written down several times saying, send this over to this. Who are you sending my social to? And who the fuck was going to pay for your BBL, Adria? The one that you list and you dictate in this fucking notebook.
First of all, let me find the fucking notebook.
I have it. You gave it to us. I have it. You gave it to us with all of the notes in it.
The blue one?
You probably don't have my notebook.
We have the notes with your notes in it. The notebook that you
She
gave
didn't
to
even know
Cena,
she left it.
We have it. Where you
I'm
dictate-
thinking she gave it to Cena. Cena said no, she didn't know she left it. So perhaps we wouldn't have fucking had it. You got all of my personal fucking information listed in this motherfucker, down to my social and everything. My address, everything.
That's medical papers in it about your vagina. You have medical papers in it about your fucking vagina. You have notes in there dictating how you are going to get a BBL and what the process would be. You have all of these different notes about my social security number and all of this shit written down. We've had it dissected. We have the notebook.
So here's the thing: if I'm going to try to get surgery, it's not going to be through you. That's the first and foremost thing. I've never had surgery, and surgery about my vagina, I don't know why I would need that done. But
There's not a surgery. It's medical papers from your doctor's appointment.
the person I worked with was Deidre Williams. She lives here in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
That's not the same person you gave me about the Instagram because you can't remember.
Her name is Deidre Williams. Deidre Williams is the one who's the entrepreneur here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Deidre was the one who introduced me to the girl to take the class online about the virtual business address and learn about business credit. We can never do business credit because you had a lot of things going on, but I was able to set up the virtual address and the virtual business and the virtual phone number. I was able to do that. That was in 2023. Since then, I haven't taken another class. You were the one who told me how I lost my Instagram.
Now, there was a lie, because remember she said in the recording, she said, I didn't want to take the class. So the girls took the class and they was telling me about it. So now she done took the motherfucking class, because then she said she didn't take the class.
You said you couldn't find me on it anymore. So I don't have access. If I could get to that account, and I've sent them my ID for them multiple times, if I could get to that account, I'll give you the girl's information.
How you didn't take notes on it? You take impeccable notes. That's my point of telling you what's in this notebook. If you took notes about how you're getting a BBL and how you're going to have to pull your pants down and this and that, then I'm sure you got notes written down about who the fuck this person is. That does not, it doesn't negate the fact that there's an LLC that's bought up properties in my name going to your mother's house.
In your name or my name. I can pull
I bet, because it's been bought under an LLC under Quatita's name.
No, I see under your name. I linked my name to your address, which is online, along with the.
Y'all heard it? Whose name did she say is on there? Whose name did she say is on the virtual address? What did she say? What did she say? Whose name is on the virtual address? Because it was never mine. It was never mine.
When we deleted it, sorry, I was looking for the notebook.
She's still looking for the notebook.
When we deleted that account, you said, hey, why is my website still up? I said, hey, it's only frozen right now because you own the domain. I'm linked to it, though. You can ask my son Donovan. After about 3-4 weeks ago, I was like, whoa.
No, she said her name is linked to it.
That manager.ag account because I stopped paying for it. I don't have anything in your name. Now, as far as the realtors go, I Lisa said she was going to be moving to Tennessee and all that. I put your information down as a contact person for that realtor because you said you was definitely
Right, for me.
Yes, I put that down. We kept getting phone calls.
I moved here in January. I moved in with Cena in January. Aubrey moved out before that. They were calling after she moved out. They're in Cena's phone. And that's what I'm telling you. These people were calling before all of this. See, we've been taking notes.
Yes, please know, Q. I don't know why they were calling before that because
Probably because you motherfuckers bought a Chipotle in my fucking name.
They're all connected. All of this shit is connected. All of it is connected. That's why I started this the way that I did. The first video.
I do. I own it. I own it. And it's sent to your mother's house.
Okay, can I just say something? So
That's Lisa.
yes.
when this
Hold on, I'm looking for my keys to go over there.
She's going to her mom's house.
when this LLC was
What the fuck was that going to prove?
okay, paperwork.
I'm going over there to get my mail because clearly, if there's something there, Q, I'm about to find it. I am telling you now. I've already told you 2 or 3 times. I can die today and I wouldn't give 2 fucks. If that's what it means to prove it to you that I didn't do nothing wrong to you, I would never do that. I didn't put nothing in your name. Did I reach out to realtors?
I should probably give you the backstory that Audria has told us. One, when we first met Audria, she told us that she was a teacher and a principal. Then she says she works for like the county where she does like kind of 2-for-1 kids kind of thing. Then she told us, and this is no bullshit, I could call Lisa and Cena. She told us that her and her mother has had to change their names and identities several times because they have had their identity stolen. We didn't even ask you to.
Audria, the Chipotle was purchased in November under my name, under an LLC attached to this. Audria, stop it. Attached to this virtual address that goes to your mother's house, Audria.
That is the God, honest truth.
Audria, the Chipotle was purchased in my name. That's why I hired the federal investigators, Audria.
Who played in my fucking face.
They can come here today, they can come here tomorrow, they can come every day, and I will sit here and tell them the exact thing.
All I'm asking you is, how would someone purchase and attach all this shit to my phone number virtually that you just needed to answer, Audria, and the address attached that goes to your mama's house, Audria?
All they have to do is Google or walk with the ancestors.
I get that. And how did it miss your mother's house when that's where the mail goes?
No. Yes. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Just give me 1 second.
Okay.
So let's just, the business is set up, right? The LLC is set up. Everything that is attached to the virtual address, okay? Phone number, website, mailing address. The papers would have had to have gone to that mailing address, whatever it was on there. The mailing address that was on there.
Hold on 1 second. I'm going to Nana's house real quick. I'll be right back. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, that's okay. The mail would have gone to your mom's house if that's the address that was given, correct? So all this stuff is going there, and we know for a fact because we checked with the virtual where the virtual address is.
Yes.
They gave us the information on what happens with the mail.
Okay.
So the mail goes to them. They send it off, and then it goes to the address that on the account. So when you set up this, and you know this, like when you set up businesses and do all these things, you're getting mail, paper mail, So there's no way that you could have not known that something was going on, because the mail would have gone to your mom's house.
We only had gotten, like I told you, and I had explained it a couple weeks ago, even when the account was set up, every year around January, we get a paper. Sorry, I'm driving. That's why I can't get the phone. Every year in January, we get a reminder that it's time to renew the services for the virtual address. Now, for the virtual address, which is through the Tennessee registration, that's who it's through. Again, I gave y'all the login information.
Yes, the Tennessee registration. Yes, that's also who set up the LLC. Go ahead.
In the Tennessee registration, that's who the virtual address and the virtual phone number is set up. I've never set up a Chipotle or any Okay, real quick. So this shit was purchased, bro. It was purchased in November 26th, the weekend that we had, the weekend that we were going to be in Cincinnati at the convention. She came down with us. She left before the second day of the convention. She left Friday night because she said her kids was acting up and she had to leave. Right? Real estate or commercial real estate. The only time I reached out to a real estate person was when Lisa said you guys want to do a storefront, and this was at the beginning of when you said, "Hey, I'm not doing none of that. Like, I'm done. Don't do nothing else. Like, detach from everything." I slowly detached from everything because, of course, I had to figure out the login information because it had been months since we logged into shit. Okay, cool. Neither here nor there. After that, when we redid the virtual address, which is through the Tennessee registration. Again, you guys can log on there and see exactly what's been going on with it for the 3 years because I have nothing to hide. I never got anything in your name, Q. So to be honest, let me pull over. And I'm gonna be dead honest in this because that's all I can do. I have never put or did anything with your name nor your social.
I'm still waiting on her to be honest.
I would never do that. I don't own shit. I don't even own a fucking car.
No, I do. I do though. And I want to know how it got past you when it went to your mother's house.
And that's what I'm telling you. Nothing has gone to my mother's house. Maybe once every 2 weeks, my mom will come over and bring me the mail. Now, mind you, she's been in Atlanta. She got home last night. She's been in Atlanta, so I haven't gotten any mail. But outside of that, she normally brings me all of my mail. The only thing that comes to my house is my electric bill because my permanent address on my license is my mom. I've never got it switched over. So I've never put nothing in your name, Q. Now, why is that important? Because she said her mama bring her mail. Every week, every 2 weeks, her mom brings her the mail. So then, when she gets to her mother's house, she says, "Mom, I'm going to take the trash and the mail." "Mom, where do you keep the mail? Do you keep the mail in this little place here?" She says, "I'm going to take the mail and the trash." The trash is a brown paper bag like this filled with mail. Again, I've not gotten mail since January. I didn't do that to you. And as far as Aubrey goes, I haven't talked to Aubrey since we audit party. That weekend, that Friday after you went off on Aubrey. Aubrey called me that Saturday. Somebody was in her $50. She wanted to know if I could help her out to get it to her. I said yes, and that was the last thing. I haven't talked to her. Now, it's also crazy that out of nowhere yesterday, Marshall ends up calling. Out of nowhere. So I'm like, what's really going on? So now this shit don't fucking making sense because I don't know what the fuck is going on. I called Marshall too, 2 weeks ago, and I asked her about this.
And we recorded that call too. And Marshall said, I didn't call her. I texted her because she was on my mind and I just wanted to see how she was doing. But she didn't text back until the next day.
I don't know either. And Marshall's been hitting up my TikTok as well. I don't know either. I will tell you what I do know, though. I can show you the matter of fact. Let me go get my paperwork.
I was going to get this paperwork.
I'm not a fucking crazy person. I'm not a fucking liar.
You've been having investigations going on. When I made a mistake, I have no reason not to come clean and say exactly what's been going on. I've been nothing but honest with you.
This here is the paperwork for the property that motherfuckers have put in my name.
In your name. I wouldn't do that.
This here. Do you see that?
I would do it. Mark, I can't. Lisa, can you tell me? Oh, sorry, I can't.
I can't see that.
This is the corporate phone number.
Yes, that's it.
Yes.
Yes,
it
I
is.
know.
And it's attached to our corporate address.
No, we don't. We're not in Los Angeles.
That doesn't say Los Angeles. That says Knoxville, Tennessee.
Now, why would this fucking dummy tell me that we're not in Los Angeles like I don't know where the fuck the corporate address and where we're located? This is all playing in my motherfucking face. And she's right. She don't have money to do this, but there are people that have a problem with me that have all of the money to be able to do this. That's why they cut off the first motherfucking video that we were doing. Because I want you to understand. When I talk about the CERN machine in the first video being a motherfucking time machine, this is why. They're doing a whole bunch of, they want me gone. And they've tried everything to get me gone. They have fucked up my car. They're fucking with Cena's car. They've sent food to this house. They sent the Uber Eats of food. They've been doing it. We've watched them send it to multiple doors out here. They're trying to figure out which door is our door. We can see everything. We sit and we watch them send Uber Eats. The Uber Eats will go to different doors out here, taking food to different doors. Not that many people at this bitch ordering motherfucking food. You send food to our door, which we didn't eat. Why is that important? Well, because Cena don't drink Coke 1, Coke 0, whatever the fuck it is. He just so happened to that day, they had Coke 0 at his job, so he grabbed one and brought one home with him as he was drinking it because they can drink it. So he brought it with him. When they sent the food, they sent one Coke 0 with it. We've watched you send it to different addresses out here. We've been watching the entire time. Audria didn't do this by herself. This is a network of motherfucking people. The name listed was Oriana H. is who sent the food. The Uber Eats bitch, they keep sending crackheads. They're using junkies. These motherfuckers look like junkies that you're paying to bring the food out here. We had it dark in here. They didn't know if we were in here or not. Yeah. We threw it all in the trash. We said, why would they just send one Coke 0? That makes no sense. You sent one Coke 0. The Uber Eats driver was banging on the door, wouldn't stop banging. I said, don't open it. He went to the door and said, he peeked out the peephole and saw the food. She made sure he saw the food. So he opened it and she kept trying to give him the food. He said, we didn't order the food. She said, yes, for here. He said, what address do you have? And she quoted out the address. He said, who ordered this food? She said, I don't know. Then she said, oh, yeah, Oriana H. sent the food. Uber Eats always wants to know what's the 4-digit passcode. They didn't even ask that. There wasn't one. Uber Eats is going to ask you, what's the 4-digit passcode? She wasn't going to stop banging till he got the door. Not to mention 3 months ago, while I was gone, they tried to come in the way that they came in my house in Vegas and put the cameras up. They tried it again. They came in and they tried to do a fire alarm at 5 a.m. They went to the wrong house. They went to the one across the hall. I called judgment on all of you in this very motherfucking moment. Everybody involved, I called judgment. I called judgment on you. Everyone involved. You got to see it. You got to be seen, baby. Everybody got to lay down. Everybody got to lay down.
Sorry, I was.
Show it to you. If you say you talk.
Put your name on it at all. I've been honest and loyal to you for years. I'm not going to do you like that. And if my character or actions have ever said that I would, then hey, like we should have talked about it then. But I've never done anything, Q, ever. I ain't putting nothing in your name. I know that, as a matter of fact, I don't know how long ago it was. I think it was us three, and maybe Cena was on the phone. I'm not sure. And we were saying, hey, get your credit report, get these kind of things. And I ended up trying to do a search on Jameco. I was trying to get.
We all were on the phone.
Okay,
She just started trying to do a research on my cousin out the blue.
This was after the first investigator that you guys were trying to go through said, hey, like they didn't want to get involved. You even end up talking to Netta. This is around that time frame that I'm speaking.
Mm-hmm.
I end up trying to do a search on Jameco, and we end up finding the old girlfriend Baz. Like this was all in that day or two.
She did. She went and she started looking up Bazzy. She started looking on Bazzy's pages and all of this shit. And I told her, she kept trying to send it to me. I said, I don't want it. I don't want to be on her page whatsoever. None of them. Not the girlfriend, not her. I don't want any of it. She said, well, I found some things. I said, well, look me up. What'd she say, Lisa? She said, I can't. It's trying to charge me now.
This whole Jameco character, which I can't get off of my computer now, because it's on my work computer, because I said, let me use a state computer. Why would I use a state issue?
I don't know.
Exactly, because I have nothing to hide. I was just trying to help out.
You always just trying to help out.
I hear you, but it's still, the fact still remains that, this has happened.
I tell you now, because I know I have nothing to hide, and I know I have not put nothing in your name. And I know that the scammers are fucking good at their job. And I know that your information is online still. Because it's still linked to the manager.ab Gmail account address. It's still linked to that to this day. Because that's how people can still contact you, because you said you still wanted to keep the virtual phone number.
Yeah.
Even when you told me you wanted to get rid of everything, you said, but you can get rid of everything, don't get rid of that. That's what I did. I continued to pay on it. So, I tried to just be as honest.
We've asked her to give us the information so we can pay it.
Or something, I've come on on here with y'all plenty of times and apologize for my actions if I've done something wrong, if I've missed a fucking ball, if I felt like I wasn't doing too much. So why all of a sudden would I just try to get a business in your name? I didn't do that. I didn't do that. Did I reach out to realtors? Yes, hi. But I also told y'all that that's what I was doing in that moment. They were calling the corporate phone number. I've always been honest.
But what she's saying is that was, I think we did that like maybe in December or something. It was, the realtors were calling Aubrey months, like way before you had connected with the realtors for the...
They're trying to send me to the penitentiary.
Natural governance thing.
Oh, I didn't... What?
You are not looking at the whole picture. Remember they had Sin City Raps calling me a pedophile? Remember they kept trying to say I was molesting children? They tried to say I was raping women at my events. See, this is what they did to Malachi Z. York. This is what they did to Rashad Jamal. They're trying to send me to the penitentiary, but it's not working. None of it's working. So now they're trying to do this. They tried to kill me. They tried to cause a car accident. They fuck with my car. My car won't even go over 30 miles per hour. I don't trust nobody. Not nobody.
I thought it was just recently because we're on this timeline. But if Aubrey was doing something different, it's not like she didn't have the information either, as far as our address and our phone number. Because again, she was like over PR. So and
how did it miss your mom's house? That's all I'm.
Now she tried to throw Aubrey under the bus. Remember, she didn't talk to Aubrey, but then she said, "Remember, Aubrey was part of this. Aubrey was over your PR." I discussed Aubrey going and doing PR for me. She was never over PR.
Can you? There's nothing at my mom's house. My mom gives, when she's in town, she brings me over any mail that I may have come here every 2 weeks. Once every 2 weeks is when she might bring it by. I'm here now.
They've told lies on me. They tried to paint me out to be crazy. They've done a whole bunch of. That's why some of these people are here. That's how some of them know me, because they've been on them people pages listening to them trying to paint me as crazy and evil.
Aubrey?
That's her daughter. Her daughter's name is Aubrey. Watch the gaslighting of all of this. Watch the gaslighting.
Any mail that I might have over here, would it be in that your basket that you keep? Oh, did I have anything? Well, let me double check.
This shit makes me angry. It makes me angry as fuck.
Oh, did you get the mail today? No, this would have been probably months ago, or even a few weeks back, prior to you. Huh?
Gaslighting.
You went through everything. No, not for Aubrey. It would be in my name.
Because it would be in your name, wouldn't it? Because whose name is on the account? Whose name would be on the motherfucking virtual address? Yours, right. So it should come in your name. You're absolutely right, because mine was never on there. So how the fuck would an AI bot accidentally put my name on a Chipotle when my name was never on the company's address ever? And why did you, Truman, have CoStar take my name off so nobody else would call me? You called the director of CoStar. How did you get in touch with them?
Dr. Bedroom door. Yeah. Sorry, Mom, I'm on a conference call, so just give me a moment.
Yeah, warn your mama not to say certain shit.
Yeah, if she has any, let me know. Yeah, if there's anything for me, Aubrey. Nail. You know, I'm on a conference call. Sorry, I don't have time to hang out with you.
Gaslighting. I want you to understand the magnitude of the gas that's being lit. She said to her daughter, yeah, I'm on a conference call. I don't have time to hang out with you. Her daughter never asked her to hang out. You know why? Because her daughter has a restraining order on her. She's not even supposed to be around her daughter.
I'm looking for anything that would have came to me already in the last couple of weeks or last couple of months that you know that would be here at the house.
Now she's talking to her daughter, right? Her mama's getting ready to be in the background telling her daughter, why do you have the door locked in my house? Because she's in her room with her door locked because she has a restraining order on her mama.
Everything what? Yeah. You doing the trash where?
The trash, which is a bag full of mail.
Here we go. All right.
A lunatic.
I went to school. I'll just take this with me. Oh, sorry, Coco. No, this bag of trash and mail. I'll just take it with me. I can go through it at home. Thanks, you guys. Yeah. Okay, I'll get home. I'll remember. Thank you. I appreciate it. Sorry, y'all. I went through this really debatable. I got a bag full of trash now, which she's gone through, and here you see it. I'm gonna go through that because only other option or only other thing that I could even possibly think of is that if she thought it was spam or not knowing, like I just seen mail in there for Nokia, Naziah, something Jones, and that person don't live there. My mom's been in this house for 20 years. Mm-hmm. So she probably just threw it, she's going to throw that away. And then she just rips it up if it has nothing to do with her. So that's the only other option. Again, I'm being honest. So she's never brought anything over to me that had Q's name on it, anything outside of just my name being on it. Every piece of mail that she brings me, I open up. And then if I don't need it, I shred it. I don't hold on. I try not to hold on to mail. So that's the only other thing that I can think of. But I didn't. My word is my bond. That's all I have in this earth. So
you quoting motherfucking music, song lyrics.
I didn't do you like that. I still lost her. Sorry. Yeah, I'm heading back home. I think I was by those trees by my mom's house. So
I don't know if y'all could hear when her mama was in the background saying, "Don't lock any doors in my house. I've told you about this."
On the other line, like I was just saying, if my mom gets random mail, she tears it up and she rips it up. Mm-hmm. I got the bag, the mail right now. I don't know how far back it goes. It's a bag like I showed Lisa. I'm gonna go home and go through it. I've never gotten anything in your name. I've never tried to get an LLC, not no Chipotle, not no
She's a fucking liar, bro. She's a fucking liar, bro. Now I'm gonna play this again.
Truman. I just wanted to say gratitude. Sometimes it makes me feel like I'm just so crazy, but what I did not even think to tell you is, and it definitely is documented, but reason why it also doesn't make sense is because the address and all of that, all of the scribbling of the system, I get it, but it was never under my name. It was under Adria's name. So that is throwing me. It's under a Walk with the Ancestors, but it's under Adria Bell. She's the one who set up the whole system for the company. So it was never under my name whatsoever. And I'm sure, I don't know, but it was under her. And just recently, as of May 14th, she just actually put Lisa Duchette, which is my business partner, on as the primary, taking over the address and phone number, and just put me on as secondary because I was never on it. Just wanted to tell you that.
Interesting.
Hey, sorry I missed you earlier. I was in a meeting.
This is Truman.
Yeah. So you're saying when Adria created it, like when she formed the LLC or whatever, she didn't put your name in it at all. Is that what you're saying? Because if that's the case, then yeah, that would be weird that the
She's
address
saying
would be
the
associated with
LLC.
You know what I mean? Let me know if that's what you need, and we can talk about it. All right, bye.
Now, she said when she created the LLC. That's not what I just told her. She said, but your name would be associated with the address. I just told you that my name was never on the address. This is the investigators playing in my fucking face, bro.
And yes, I totally understand. I know all this stuff is frustrating and makes you feel like you're crazy, but I hope you know that we got your back.
Yeah, that's what I mean. When Adria created the virtual address and the phone number, everything was her mother's address, her phone number, her name. I was not attached to it up until 2 weeks ago.
So how could the AI system give me a second. And I know we've been on here for an hour and 50 something minutes. I'm gonna go in just a second. I'm sorry, I'm looking for something real quick. Trying to see if I can find it. Okay, I found it, but I want to get it to this point. So give me a second. I'm gonna mute the sound. Hold on.
Just kind of what came up when I looked stuff up. So I want you to go through these accounts and let me know like who's created them. And if not, then what I'll go and I'll do it. I'll go and I'll report them. And so they can do.
Now, what we're listening to right now is the meeting with the investigators when they come and bring me this booklet right here. When they bring me this, they're going over it. But I want you to hear this part of the gaslighting.
So if you tell me what's yours, it's not yours. Okay, I'll take care. Okay.
She'll take care of it.
Chipotle. All right.
Yes.
Figured it out.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So, and I wrote a report on it, so you can read it, but I'm going to try to explain it to you. So, you know, when you created your LLC, you had to have a registered agent. Do you know what that is?
I never created an LLC. I never created an LLC.
So when you create an LLC, because we have to do it too, you have to do what's called a registered agent. And you can be a registered agent or you can choose somebody to be a registered agent for you. Like there are companies that can be a registered agent. Essentially, it's like, how would you explain that?
Because I'm
like
playing dumb.
They take like liability kind of, right?
Yeah, it's so it's like a company that if someone ever were going to try to sue you, would be saying that company and not.
Or they would like give process to that company instead of giving it to you. Like they would basically kind of handle the liability. Okay. Instead of you. Okay. Your registered agent is listed as the same registered agent as the Chipotle owner, which is normal. Okay. So, essentially, like, so for our LLC, we're each other's registered agent. So, like, if somebody needed to serve us process or sue us, they would serve us.
Oh, okay.
I could pick, though, a registered agent. There are companies out there, and I could say, you're my registered agent. I'm hiring you to do that. And whoever's listed as your registered agent is the same one as the owner of the Chipotle. So what happened is a company called Madison Specs. They scrubbed the internet for data, okay, on properties, like a real estate.
That's who paid the. Okay.
Okay. She's talking about this. This is the person who called and told me about this. Sam Wolf from Madison Specs called and told me that there was a Chipotle in my name.
Scrubbed the internet for data, and the data that they found for that address was under your name because you have the same registered agent, which is the Knoxville address. Okay? That's why that came up. So Madison Specs sold the data to a company called CoStar. CoStar, they run like real estate information, like they do data for real estate, whatever. And
which is a lie. When we talked to him, he told Lisa, he said, we got your information from CoStar. They got the information. Sam Wolf from Madison Specs got the information from CoStar. So why did they sell the information to CoStar? She's lying to my face. This is the investigator we paid $7,500 to lie to my face. He said, we got the information. Lisa, then he said, you said, where you get this from? He said, from CoStar.
So CoStar took that data, they put it in their system under your name, under that address.
Okay.
That's why you're getting calls about properties.
Okay.
So I called one of the directors at CoStar and asked about it. They confirmed that it was your name, and they confirmed that it was the address. And they said they did not know how it got in there, and there was no information about how it got entered. They looked into it a little bit more, and they said it was an internet scrubbing problem, that whoever scrubbed the internet, like that Madison Specs, it's just like a data error, basically, like an AI error. Scrubbed it incorrectly, and your name was put in the system.
And she got documentation showing that.
That's crazy. That's weird. Okay.
So what I had them do is I had them remove you, which I hope is okay. So I
Okay.
had them remove you from their system, so they're not going to. Nobody's going to be calling you anymore. You're not.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that? You're trying to tell me that I set up the LLC. She's saying that I set up the LLC for the Chipotle. That my company is under an LLC. A Walk with the Ancestors is a sole proprietorship that was set up while in Ohio. It was set up in Ohio. It was never set up in Tennessee. It's not an LLC. It is a sole proprietorship set up through Ohio. Always have been. Always have been. What LLC she's talking about, I don't know, but I'm just playing along because you are lying to me. And I can't believe what I'm listening to. And I'm just trying to be cool.
Somebody form, it shouldn't pop up like that anymore, at least in their system.
Okay.
So
At least
that's
in
good.
their system.
That's why you've been getting all the calls in regards to that property and other properties probably too, because you have the same registered agents.
So ain't that crazy? Because we have the same registered agent. Funny, I was never in it. I just gave you all of the proof and showed you. I was never inside of the registered agent at all. Quatita Dean's name was never there. If anything, if anybody's name should be on the Chipotle, if that's the case, guess whose name should be on it? Tell me whose name should be on it, y'all. Whose name should be on it? Whose name should be on it? Because it's not mine. Adria Bell should be on it. We've listened to all of the motherfucking proof of where Adria just told you that everything has always been in her name. It's never been in my name. There's not an LLC to be in my motherfucking name. So if anybody should have system got scrubbed, it should have been Adria Bell. You called the director of CoStar? This is Truman Corelli we're listening to. Truman Corelli, a private investigator. Her and her husband, Seth Corelli. Interesting. So everybody is in on it. Everybody's in on it. I tell her, I'm not going to prison for this. She said, you're not going to prison. You haven't committed any crimes. I know. You just heard her say, this is how my name got on this company. It makes no sense, right? Call Chipotle. Tag Chipotle. Everybody tag Chipotle. Again, and I got to use the bathroom. I got a piece of it. But I'm going to give you this. Okay, so let me show you this. Again, this is Alan Fruitman. This is all from LinkedIn. This is, I help investors purchase in properties. In properties is interesting. In properties means that they have sold properties from up under a company like Chipotle who do not franchise. They've sold it from up under them without the company being aware. I have that in here somewhere. Toddy did the research on that. This is all from LinkedIn. It was great to work with you on this purchase. That was him. They're congratulating Miles Elam. My team and I at 1031tax.com are grateful to work with your wonderful clients and top brokers across the country. That is from Alan Fruitman. I believe that they've been doing this to people who are dead, but I'm just not dead. So they was trying to get me dead. See what I'm saying? Hold on. Now this is that is who sold this property. Says he's the owner. He was the owner who sold it to me. Y'all just did it to the wrong person, that's all. That's all. Y'all just did it to the wrong person. Let me get this out. Here's this. NNN, a triple net lease, is a commercial real estate agreement where the tenant pays a lower base rent plus all three major property expenses, taxes, insurance, and maintenance, including CAM. These long-term 10 to 15-year net leases offers landlords stable income with minimum management while giving tenants control over the property upkeep. Okay? Key aspects of an NNN lease. The three nets. Tenant pays for property taxes, building insurance, and common area maintenance. That's the CAM, C-A-M, which includes landscaping, snow removal, and repairs for a lower base rent. Why have I stopped receiving mail? Because the checks are coming in my name. I'm the landlord. I'm the landlord. And so the checks are coming in Quatita's name. So therefore, they had to stop Quatita's mail. I am a true buyer. The true buyer must obtain a quiet title to show proof of ownership. Okay, hold on. I went to the Chipotle. And I asked who owns the Chipotle. They told me that David P. owns the Chipotle and have for the last 3.5 years. I said, does he come in here? I asked for his number because I wanted to talk to David. They wouldn't give me his number. They gave me the number to his manager, the general manager, who I called. He told me he didn't know David. He was not even affiliated with Chipotle at all. Why would the manager tell me he's not even affiliated with Chipotle? Crazy, right? Now, as I went deeper, I wanted to know, because at the top of this right here, at the top of the deed, What is the deed? Oh, this is what I'm looking for. At the top of the deed, let me go ahead and get that back out. At the top of the deed, right here, highlighted in orange and in green, right? Right here, orange and green. This is what it says. Prepared by and returned to Amy McNally Brown at Arndt Fox Schiff LLP Direct in Washington, D.C. Then it lists the LLC, and then it gives an address to the LLC. So the LLC is also linked to this address, as well as linked to the corporate address, my corporate address, right? So they have to have somebody manning that address in case something comes to that address, my corporate address, right? So they've had this prepared there, right? Okay. So for and in consideration of the sum of $10 cash in hand paid by hereinafter name guarantee and other good and valuable consideration, the receipt of which is hereby acknowledged, we, Bingo I LLC, a California limited liability company who acquired title as Bingo I LP, hereinafter called the guarantor as bargained and sold by these presents, does transfer and convey unto 214 Indian Lake LLC, a Tennessee limited liability company. But again, for those of you who are just joining, Quatita's name is listed as the true buyer. The true buyer, and then that is the LLC, right? The LLC is the recorded buyer. I'm the true buyer, right? And even when you look back here, it says who sold it to you. Now, this is the crazy part. This is my name, but they don't know, because this is how I spell my name, because this is how my mama taught me how to spell my name. But when you look on my birth certificate, my name is spelled different. Y'all didn't know that, though. Right? 2.8 million owner, user, Quatita Dean, buyer. But Chipotle, let's look that up for you before we go, because I gotta pee. Again, they used everyone outside of Nashville. How do you do that? You used everyone. How did Brian Brockman from Bank Realty in Cincinnati even have this listed as his property to sell it? If you're just joining, make sure you go see the first video. So, you know what a franchise is, right? A franchise would mean that I could buy the Chipotle. Chipotle is not a franchise. Chipotle is not a franchise in a traditional sense. The company owns and operates almost all of its over 4,000 locations, rather than allowing independent individuals to buy and run individual restaurants. So if I own it, how the fuck is David P. the owner of it? Somebody owes me money. I want my money. Because what the investigators told me is bullshit. If it was sold, you owe me money. I've just proven to you, you owe me money. Because Chipotle believes this corporate-owned model is essential to maintaining strict quality control and staff training standards. You cannot open a Chipotle franchise, However, Chipotle has made a few exceptions for international expansions. None here. I want all of my motherfucking money that you owe me because you shouldn't have done it. You've done it to dead people, but Cortita Dean is not dead. And you were hoping that I stayed quiet, that I never came on here and talked about it. But bitch, I've given you ample opportunity and time. You played in my face. I just paid this bitch $7,500 to play in my motherfucking face. Hold on.
Okay.
They were a long time ago, but still, I mean, I know you're concerned about it.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's intuition, right? Like,
Yeah.
Your gut knows, and so she obviously has a history of that. Even if it was a long time ago, that doesn't mean that she might have gotten better at it. Yeah.
So what was the connection that was between Shabazz and myself? Reason why I was stopped at the airport?
I don't know. I have no idea. We have nothing to do with TSA, airport. We can't see any of that, but you're not on a watch list. I did see that. Confirmed that you're not on any watch lists.
Okay.
So that's good.
Okay.
There would have been no reason for them to stop you. But when did you say that was?
Is it January
of this year?
Mm-hmm.
So she was arrested in 2023 in Texas. But there would be no reason that you would be stopped at the airport. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know why they even connected me. We dated for less than a year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What did they ask you?
Who was she? And like basically was she with me? It was very weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, unless she's on some sort of federal watch list, which I could check, but it would show up in her report, which her report's here. If the global watch list shows up, I don't think it showed up for her because it would have flagged that.
Okay.
So that I don't know about that. Do you have any ideas?
They could have been investigating her or something. And were you dating at the time that they questioned you? Yeah.
Oh no, this was 6 years ago.
Yeah, that's why it doesn't make any sense either.
Right.
You know what I mean? Unless she implicated her in a crime.
That's possible.
Yeah, like she could have I don't know, told police or the feds that you were a criminal or something, and they were trying to get more information from you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
TSA is very.
Was it TSA that questioned you?
No, it was the Department of
Homeland Security.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah.
Which TSA is a part of it, but it might have just been higher ups. But
Yeah.
TSA. The TSA is such a low level investigative company. I don't even think they're agency. I don't even think they do investigations. Well, they probably use DHS to do their investigations. But
Yeah.
But regardless, those are federal, and you wouldn't be able to have access to those security, and they have loads of them.
Okay.
So, that I don't know. But if they do question you about her again, let me know.
Okay.
So all of your background results.
Let her
are
know
here,
why.
so-
If they question me about Shabazz again, let her know for what. Hold on.
to do their investigations. But
Yeah.
But regardless, those are federal and you wouldn't be able to have access to those secrets when they have locals.
Okay.
So if that's
that I don't
federal
know.
and she doesn't have access to that, why would she have access to be able to? I showed you the text message what she said when I told her I'm not getting any mail. She said, I'll go into my data system and I'll fix that. But she's going to go ahead and say as well that there's like, she can't do that either.
But if they do question you about her again, let me know.
Okay.
So all of your background results are here. So you can see it's kind of just like a summary of like all your addresses and stuff. It's kind of easier to go through. There were some judgments that came up, UCC filings, things like that. So if those don't look correct, I mean, and then I just have some like other stuff in here just for like advice for you as far as like identity theft, monitoring and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Your person, like your personality on the internet,
Yeah.
media, things like that, are out there. So your information needs to be protected.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially in 2026, there's going to be lots of people trying to get your stuff, and especially with the kind of stuff you talk about, it's sensitive. And so I just want you to be protected. And so I would urge you to get some things like I've talked about in here
Okay.
to kind of protect you so this stuff doesn't happen again.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Now you heard her say that she urged me to do that, but then she goes on to say, oh, I have put in a monitoring system on your accounts, your name and everything, that if anything should come up, it's going to come directly to me first, where she's monitoring my shit. She says that in here.
And then what I did is I would also go look at your credit report and let me know if anything comes up in there. I don't know how recently you've checked that, but I know you were concerned about that.
Yes.
And let me know if what comes up there. I could look into that too. What I also did is through our investigative system, I set up a monitoring account for you. So basically in our system, it'll let us know if something new populates for you, like a new address, a new arrest, the financial information, things like that.
I don't know. I guess I'm just a little.
Okay. That's where she's telling me she set up a monitoring system to monitor me. She said, I urge you to do it. But then she tells me, she goes on to say, she's monitoring me.
Confused on even like the properties in Texas that were being rented under my name. You know what I mean? And extended as if I've been living there for 20 years.
And so that's why I want you to go through this and let me know which addresses, because
Hold on.
set up a monitoring account for you. So basically in our system, it'll let us know if something new populates for you, like a new address, a new arrest, the financial information, things like that.
I don't know. I guess I'm just a little confused on even like the properties in Texas that were being rented under my name. You know what I mean? And extended as if I've been living there for 20 years.
And so that's why I want you to go through this and let me know which addresses, because whatever properties are in here are the true properties. Do you know what I mean? That's what's showing up.
Okay.
And that's why I want you to go through this and be like, hey, this is correct, this is not correct.
Okay.
Because you found out about the properties in Texas from people calling you, right?
No.
No, I pulled my credit report.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I want you to pull that again and let me know.
Okay.
If it still
Let her know
shows up
why.
in there, can you send it to me?
Okay.
And then what I'll do is I'll run those property reports and then find out who the actual owner is, and then we can deal with it that way.
Okay.
Do you know
I
what
gave
mean?
them to her already,
But
though.
essentially what I was saying about the monitoring is that it's gonna let me know if anything new comes up for you.
Okay.
So like that's what I'm saying, it'll be an ongoing relationship. Like,
Okay.
you know, something comes up and like, hey, you know,
Okay.
I got it. So you're being monitored.
Anything about my mail why I still haven't received?
Let me make sure they're not gonna say my address. Hold on.
But essentially what I was saying about the monitoring is that it's going to let me know if anything new comes out for you.
Okay.
So like, that's what I'm saying. It'll be an ongoing relationship. Like,
Okay.
you know, something comes over like, hey, you know,
Okay.
I got this. So you're being monitored.
Anything about my mail why I still haven't received any mail?
What I would do, you said you forwarded your mail last time. When did you do that?
I've done it several times over the last few months. And at the last time that I did it, all of my mail just stopped.
So it only forwards for 1 year.
Right. I've done it again. I've just recently done it over the last few months. And I went and I reported from all of the addresses, even the addresses in Texas that don't belong to me,
Right.
that I'm listed under.
Right.
I did that. And after that, it just stopped. I don't get any mail.
Nothing at all.
No. Nothing from my past address that I just moved from has come.
Yeah.
Like disconnection notices, you know, where I've had things cut up, like nothing.
Did they, when you did this UPS forwarding, did they say anything? Like, did they give you a confirmation? Because sometimes they'll deny it.
I went and they showed me in the system. He took me to the back and said, I'm a little confused on why it keeps switching, why we have so many. He said, but here's the confirmations, but I don't understand why you're still not receiving mail.
They have no idea either.
No.
You know, what's crazy too is the address that you gave me doesn't pop up in your certified.
And I moved there in January. And that's all the mail I've received.
Okay, so I know it does take time, like the mail stuff. Even if you do it does take time.
It don't take that long.
I don't either, but I know they only do it for a year too. But I mean, again, USPS is federal too, so we wouldn't have access to any of their systems.
Yeah.
But they would be the ones to know. But they don't. It sounds like they don't even know.
No, I filed for a federal investigation because my mail was being rerouted.
Right.
Like, we have proof that it was being rerouted.
But it's weird that it doesn't show up here either. Because what was your last address that you had?
So she's going to say that she can't look into the system. That's federal. But as you know, I showed you the text message that she sent saying she'll look in her database and she'll fix it. But then she tells me here that she can't go into that and do nothing about that because it's federal, although she's asking me all of these questions. Everybody has played in my face. Continue to tag Chipotle at this motherfucker because y'all keep doing this. And I'm sure this is not the only property because, again, they rented different properties in Texas in my motherfucking name. And you've just gotten what you thought was smarter. I would have never found it had not Sam Wolf from Addison Specs reached out to me. I would have never found this, and they know that. And that's where you fucked up at. This should be a RICO case on everybody involved. I don't know why the federal investigators are still allowing this shit to happen. I gotta use the bathroom, but I'm gonna go pee real quick. It's been almost 3 hours I've been on here. Now, what I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna go use the bathroom, but I'm gonna come back because I'm gonna see if Cena send me the recordings, or do I have the recordings that of Netta? Like, there were so many recordings of that between, and you'll be able to hear, and you can tell that this is a federal investigation that's going on. You will hear how she's asking me questions, me telling her stuff, and then she'll say, hold on real quick, Q. I don't want it to be the dead horse, or you know what I'm saying, but real quick, just it's random. Did you and Bazzy have property in your name together? And I'm like, what? No. There's never nothing in me and Bazzy's name together. We were together for less than a year. Yeah, that's crazy. Like, but your name was on the company, you know, with you and your cousin because y'all had the company together. And I'm like, what paperwork? My name shouldn't be on no paperwork with companies. This is all in the conversation with Netta, the one who I keep saying is a Fed. She keeps saying she is not. This is all in those kind of conversations. I even say to her in one of the conversations, I say, let me pull this up real quick and then I'm gonna go use the bathroom. I say to her, is this almost feels like witness protection? She say, pretty much you should be. You just ought to be in witness protection or whatever she said. She said you should be. She's been helping me trying to understand a few things, and she would send me stuff that doesn't make sense to me, but I'm like just trying to figure shit out. I sent her about them recording over my toilet. That's a camera in my bathroom in my other apartment over my toilet. And then that's when I realized it, the light is gone. She's called me and said some other shit that was so weird. This is what I said to her. This is I'm cleaning up my house. It's 2:53 in the morning. Greetings, hope you're well. Wouldn't it be crazy if you were a financial investigator, came in for my protection anyway? Really hope. She says, greetings, guests. Everyone has a role. Interesting thought. Because I'm trying to figure out what her role is in all of this. This is me and her at my birthday. And this is when she leans over to me and tell me she's FBI. She confirms it. She said, you remember, this is us at my birthday party at the club. It's loud as fuck. She said, you know when you said that you think that I'm FBI or CIA? And I said, yeah, because we're in the club. It's loud. She said, I'm FBI. And I look at her. I do like this. I get up. I start dancing. I'm so drunk, I go outside the club. She follows me outside the club where I got my ass in some nigga face, child. I don't even know. That's when I fall and I hurt my ankle and I kept saying they shot me in the ankle. And then I came on and did a live talking about how they shot me in my ankle. All of this. So when I call her out on it, I can call Marshall right now. Marshall was in a motherfucking car with me when somebody called her and she started talking in code. She called him like Mr. Gray or Mr. Grayson. He immediately hung up the phone. He said he was her boss. Marshall can tell you the fuck right now. All of this shit, all of it. You're the fucking feds, ma'am, and I know you are. And I don't give a fuck what I'm exposing, who I'm exposing. Y'all have let these people ruin my fucking life. Y'all, they've tried to ruin my life. Y'all been trying to send me to the penitentiary. I don't give a fuck. When I called her out on, I said, yeah, so let's talk more about when you said you the FBI. She said, I didn't say that. I said, I'm FDIC. I work with banks. I shut banks down. I go in and I investigate banks and banking and what's going on at banks. That's what I do. I said, that's not what you said. You didn't say you was the FDIC. You said, I'm FBI. She said, I never said that. Then she ended up trying to show me her badge. But I had already looked up what the FDIC badge looked like. That shit she showed me looked like it was printed at fucking Staples or Kinko's. I'm not a fucking idiot, bro. I'm not a motherfucking idiot, bro. I'm not. I'm gonna come back. If you jump on that next live, then you jump on. If you don't, then you don't. But I will be back. I'm gonna end this one. I'll be back.